Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope your day is off to a great start. It's time for another round of in-depth candle reviews. So I'm going to be sharing two here on my channel today. We're obviously kicking it off with Kringle Reserve Strawberry Prosecco. And then a little bit later on this afternoon, I will share my thoughts regarding the Kringle Reserve Bittersweet fragrance. And then a couple days from now, I will share my thoughts on the Kringle Reserve Red Velvet fragrance. Just to be very honest with you guys, I did receive all three of these candles in PR, so I did not pay for them. I am a Kringle Candle ambassador, so sometimes when new collections are released, Kringle is kind enough to send them out to the ambassadors, and then we are allowed to share our thoughts with you guys. I am always appreciative of receiving PR. It definitely allows me to review a lot more candles than I would be able to normally. So I'll go ahead and link where you can purchase any Kringle candle in the description box down below. I will also put my ambassador discount code down there. It's just Melanie15. That'll save you 15% off of your purchase. Definitely feel free to use that anytime, especially if you don't have any rewards available. It doesn't work with all of the sales that are happening all the time, but it's worth plugging in one of those ambassador codes just to see if you can save yourself a little bit more money. But anyway, when this collection launched, I actually had not received these candles yet. But I've been so obsessed for the last few months with red velvet cake, just in terms of eating it because it is delicious. I got so excited about this red velvet fragrance. So I did place an order during the launch. I knew I was going to fall in love with it, so I had to have it. But yeah, this entire collection, listen, if you are either a fan of these kind of effervescent champagne Prosecco-like fragrances, or you are into chocolate fragrances, this is the collection for you. I think all three are incredibly well done, and I've had a really good strength and throw experience with all three candles. So let's go ahead and kick off this review here with the Strawberry Prosecco. Like I said, the review of Bittersweet will come out a little bit later on today, so subscribe if you're new. That way that will pop up in your subscription feed as soon as it goes live. Okay, so the way that we're gonna review this is I'm gonna read you the scent story. I'm gonna read through the fragrance notes. I am going to go ahead and tell you what my nose actually smells in here. Obviously, how we perceive fragrance kind of varies from person to person. I will then discuss the strength and the throw, and then any burn issues that I may have had. I have now burned this candle to just about the halfway point, and it has done really well, so not a whole lot of burn issues to discuss here, but I typically don't have very many when it comes to the Kringle soy formula. If you are newer to Kringle Candle, they use a 100% soy formulation, and it is incredibly clean burning. This is something that is really important to me personally, as I did some damage to our last house with burning candles that really had a less than stellar burn to them. I used to burn a lot of paraffin candles, and it's not a formulation that I really care for anymore, but I have found soy just to be very clean burning. The strength and throw might be a little bit different. I feel like we can kind of argue about that though. I don't really have much of an issue with other types of wax outside of paraffin in terms of strength and throw. I burn coconut wax. I have burned apricot wax, different soy blends, and I kind of feel like they all mostly perform the same. But obviously, if you have a preference, then, that's gonna vary from person to person. But all right, let's dig into the scent description here. Strawberry Prosecco. Effervescent notes of sparkling grapefruit and juicy pomelo lend a fresh vibrancy to pink hibiscus layered with sun-soaked yuzu, island fruits, and tropical greens. The top notes are citrus and floral. The mid notes are green and grapefruit. The base is fruit, strawberry, and musk. I feel like I'm gonna get some questions about how this like Prosecco or bubbly champagne-y type note is going to compare to some of their other releases that are kind of in the same family. So most recently we just had the Kringle Reserve Champagne Bliss, which I fell in love with. But I gotta tell you guys, I think this strawberry Prosecco trumps the Champagne Bliss for me at this point. The addition of especially the strawberry here makes this even more enjoyable than that Champagne Bliss. There was also another bubbly scent called, I think it was called Poppin' Bottles. I don't think that I had that one. I should probably get it and just kind of be able to compare it, because at this point Kringle does have, like I said, a few of these like effervescent, bubbly, champagne-y type scents. But this one here is, oh, mwah, chef's kiss, you guys. So what do you smell here? First of all, it's very much it kicks off right away with that Prosecco note. There is a little bit of a booziness here. It's not crazy intense, but it really does smell like you are sticking your nose into a freshly popped bottle of Prosecco. There is definitely a citrus forward bubbly note in here. The strawberry is definitely the star of the show, but you do smell the grapefruit, you do smell the pomelo, and you do smell that lovely yuzu. They're not overpowering the strawberry, but they are very much in the background of the fragrance. So if you happen to be a fan of those citrus notes, I can definitely smell them in here. But the main fruit note that you're getting here is absolutely that strawberry. So that base note of strawberry is actually, for me, one of the first things that hits me outside of the effervescence from this particular scent. I don't get any floral notes from this one. I also don't pick up any green notes in this at all. And outside of the strawberry, there's no other fruit notes besides those citrus notes that I mentioned. So it's like you poured yourself a glass of really nice Prosecco and you maybe popped a couple of really ripe, juicy, sweet summer strawberries inside of that Prosecco. So you get that beautiful mixture of the bubbly combined with the strawberry. I love this. Listen, if you like those bubbly scents and you like the strawberry, you're gonna like this one. If you have enjoyed Kringle's other champagne-y or bubbly type scents, you're gonna like this one. It is delicious, it is well done, and the performance, honestly, it has been pretty darn good. Now, I tend to have a fairly consistent strength and throw performance from these Kringle 2-wick soy candles. Typically, they are somewhere in the range of about 7 to maybe an 8 in some cases. I feel like the strongest out of this collection has probably been the Red Velvet for me. I don't think I can give this one a number of 8, but I give it a solid like 7. This is a very noticeable fragrance. When you walk into a room where you're burning this one, it's not subtle. You're going to smell it. It's one where maybe you want to be mindful if you have guests coming that might be a little bit more sensitive to fragrances. It is that noticeable. In terms of the throw, I would put that probably around between like a 6 and a 7. It does travel, not a whole lot outside of the specific room where I'm burning it, but it does spill out. My home is set up in a more open concept type of style. This house was built in the early 2000s. There are fairly high ceilings in here, definitely a lot higher than the ceilings at our last house. So strength and throw can be a little bit of an issue in here sometimes, but this one is one that I definitely notice when I'm burning it. no matter what part of the house I'm in, but it's definitely a lot more potent in the room where it's based, if that makes sense. So good strength and throw. Is this one that I would like to see in their new 4-wick format? I gotta be honest, I'm not sure that this is one where I would want it to be insanely powerful, at least for me personally. Like I said, there is a definite like champagne effervescent bubbly note here. There is a little bit of booziness that, you know, is kind of swirling around in the scent. And I don't always want a boozy scent smacking me in the face, at least not me personally. I feel like those types of fragrances can sometimes take over. So I think for me, if I repurchase this in the future, even if it's available in a 4-wick format, I would continue to purchase it in the 2-wick format. This level of strength and throw is more than acceptable for me personally. You'll have to decide if that is, you know, an okay number for you. I don't even know if they are planning on releasing this in the 4-wick size, but I know that we are starting to see more of these reserve fragrances popping up in that. So anyway, that would be my personal preference, is just to continue on with the 2 wicks for this one. Did I have any burn issues? No, absolutely none. I will give you guys an overhead shot. This wax has not discolored. There is no sooting. I have left this lit for probably on average anywhere from 3 hours to 5 hours. With most of my candles, I have them lit for maybe 3 hours max, just because there are some issues that can develop. And I try to, as much as possible, follow the burn recommendations in terms of the length of time that you're supposed to burn the candles. So for me, the Kringle soy formula tends to be clean enough to where I don't have to worry about it quite as much. So if a candle goes longer than 3 hours, it's okay. And that is absolutely the case here. You can see that there is a little bit of wax on the side here that has yet to pool out. I did just light this right before filming this video here. So you can see that we're not fully pulled out, but there is no tunneling or anything like that that's happening with this one. It just hasn't been lit for very long. In terms of the side view here, so that you can see exactly how far down I am, I have what I would consider have reached the halfway point here, and it's doing great. The wicks are going to form mushroom tops. You're gonna have to trim those wicks. I don't think you need to aggressively trim them. My wicks were very, very long on the on all 3 candles, and actually, let me see if I can get this to focus again. There we go. In fact, I had a really high pour on the bittersweet and the red velvet. And the wicks just kind of like stuck way above even where the top of the candle is here. I did not trim the wicks prior to the first burn. All of the wicks were very long. I don't recommend trimming the wicks prior to lighting. They will level down to where they need to be, but on subsequent burns, you do want to trim just that mushroom top off, and then you're good to go. So anyway, do I give this one 2 thumbs up? Yes, I like this one a lot. It is now... It definitely has taken over the Champagne Bliss for me. So not that I wouldn't enjoy the Champagne Bliss going forward, but if I am going to be purchasing a bubbly candle, it's going to be the Strawberry Prosecco. So anyway, for what it's worth, those are my thoughts about this one. Again, I'll have it linked down below. Check it out if you are interested. All of the Reserve Valentine's collection candles are still available, so no rush, but yeah, if you're interested, they are available. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, subscribe if you are new, and then be sure to stay tuned for the review of Bittersweet a little bit later on this afternoon. And again, Red Velvet will be coming down the pipeline here in a couple of days. Let me know if you have any questions, and I appreciate you being here. Toodaloo.